On this day, I came out to the pond to find something unexpected. As you see here, there's little tiny puddles everywhere in the pond. It's drained. After every rain, I drain it to dig in it or to cut trees down, and a lot of trees need to be cut down in there. And I drain it if it doesn't dry out on it by itself. But I look at all these little tiny puddles of tadpoles everywhere. These puddles aren't even connected, and some of them barely have any water in them. And so someday I plan on introducing tadpoles, frogs, and fish and plants and other things to this pond. But, at this stage, it's nowhere near ready for any of this. There's a lot more tree cutting to do, a lot more digging to do. I'm going to drain the pond out many more times over the next few months. So these tadpoles really shouldn't be here. I realize I need to make a decision. I can continue on with my work on the pond right now like I had planned and kill all these tadpoles, or I can postpone my work on the pond right now and try to save these tadpoles. I'm not really sure what I should do. I hadn't planned on having to make this decision today. I had no idea I was going to come out to find these tadpoles here. But I decided, there's lots to do around the yard. I'll work on something else, and I'll postpone the work on the pond and try to save these tadpoles. So how am I going to save them? Well, I'm just going to turn on the hose and introduce some water here. But that's not as easy as it sounds, because these puddles are far from where the hose is from the house, and these little puddles, they're not connected to each other. I don't want to run around with a hose trying to fill up 100 little puddles everywhere. So I decide on a plan. I don't know if it's a good idea, if it's going to work, but I'm going to dig a ditch back to where the hose is, as you can see here. And I'm going to just turn on the hose in one place instead of running around trying to fill up 100 puddles. I'm going to let it run down the ditch and into the pond. Now that's not the end of it. Just because the water's running to the pond, that's not the end of it. Now I need to connect all of these little puddles that aren't connected. And then you can see Little Cat helping. Little Cat's always in the middle of everything and always wants to help. And so if you know me, if you're familiar with the channel, you know Little Cat has not been around for a while. We miss him. But I'm glad I got this footage of him. I kind of actually forgot he was in this recording, as this is old footage. I recorded this a while ago, but I didn't get it up on YouTube until today. But anyway, there you can see me and Little Cat and the tadpoles waiting for the water to come down the ditch and start filling up the drying out puddles of full of tadpoles. But besides digging that ditch, I had to spend a lot of time connecting all the different puddles of ditches. I dug lots and lots of little mini ditches connecting each of the individual puddles to each other. The reason for that being is I'm trying to save these tadpoles, but I'm not going to fill the pond up all the way. So filling it up partially is not going to connect all the little drying out puddles. I would either need to fill the pond all the way up, which I don't want to do with a hose. And so the only way to get water into all of them without running around with a hose and trying to fill 100 different puddles up is I try to connect them all with ditches. So every little puddle is connected to each other with another ditch. That was a lot of work connecting them all. Not only I didn't want to run around with the hose trying to fill the puddles up, this seemed like a more long-term solution. If I connected all the puddles by a hose, by a ditch, then the hose would only need to run in one place, and it would be permanent. Those ditches would be permanent. They would always connect there's Little Cat getting a drink. He always likes drinking the dirty pond water rather than the clean water I have for him in the bowls. But yeah, anyway, I just figured it would be a more permanent solution to have the ditches out there all the time, and anytime I need to run the hose, I could run it in one place and it would fill all the puddles. So this took hours. I spent lots of time doing this. It was a lot of work, and then I'm finally done, and I go inside, and look what you see. I did not know this was coming. We got a downpour. This This pond is filling up. All the little puddles, drying out puddles of tadpoles are filling up with rainwater, not with water from all the work I did or the hose running in the ditch. I turned off the hose almost as soon as I finished all the work. I realized I didn't need to with this downpour. I did not know this was coming. At this point in time, I'm starting to wonder, did I just waste all my time digging all those little ditches, digging that ditch all the way back to the house to put the hose in? Was this a complete waste of my time? Had I known this rain was coming, I don't think had I known it was coming, I know I would not have dug these ditches today, but I just didn't know it was supposed to rain. The rain would only be a short-term solution to saving them, but maybe it would rain enough to keep them tadpoles alive. But at this point in time, I'm kind of regretting spending all that time and effort digging all those ditches to save the tadpoles when this was coming, and had I done nothing at all, they would have been perfectly fine. I think that's about all I have to say here. If you want to, this video goes on just a little bit longer if you want to see what the garden looked like on this day. See ya.